The Mariners' inability to finish strong struck again as they fell 4-1 to the Braves in a game marred by yet another bullpen meltdown. Despite all the hype about the Mariners' potent lineup this season, their inconsistency continues to frustrate fans and observers alike. While the dreaded offensive droughts of 2024 seem mostly behind them, their current collapse on this road trip has painfully recalled those dark days when fans would mentally check out during offensive innings because the offense was just that bad. Tonight's game was possibly the most disappointing example as the Mariners looked utterly helpless against Chris Sale. Sale dominated the Mariners through nearly 7 innings with his devastating slider and an impressive boost in velocity after returning from injury. Racking up 9 strikeouts mainly via his slider. Oh, the old days of double-digit strikeout nights. How many fans thought we'd left those behind? From the start, things looked bleak for Logan Gilbert. Against any team other than this powerful Braves lineup, the damage might have been worse. Jurickson Profar started the game with a double, followed by 6 pitches from Gilbert that failed to find the strike zone against Matt Olson, who walked. An apparent strike 3 call on Ozzie Albies wasn't given, allowing Albies to single and load the bases with no outs. Although some of the missed calls were outside Gilbert's control, it put him in a tough spot early. Fortunately, Gilbert managed to escape without catastrophic damage by striking out Drake Baldwin with a sharp splitter showing effective vertical movement. Then Ha-Seong Kim stepped up and delivered a timely sacrifice fly on a 95.6-mile-per-hour fastball, something that could have been a lot worse. Gilbert ended the inning striking out Michael Harris on a splitter that moved horizontally, showcasing his ability to adjust his pitches. The Mariners briefly showed some signs of life in the 3rd inning. Dominic Canzone battled hard against a tough lefty. Although he ultimately flew out, he worked Sale deep into counts and resisted biting on sliders outside the zone. Following Canzone, Julio Rivas wrestled a ground rule double by tapping into his power. Lefty Luke Raley put the ball in play, but right at Braves center fielder Michael Harris, while Randy Arozarena extended the inning by getting hit by a pitch. Unfortunately, Cal Raleigh killed the momentum by swinging at a slider below the strike zone and popping out softly, ending their best chance to generate offense so far. The first hitter to crack triple digits on ball exit velocity was Jorge Polanco, who launched a 105.5-mile-per-hour single in the 4th inning. Despite that explosive hit, he was stranded on first base due to the Mariners' continued struggles to drive in runs. In the 5th inning, the Mariners avoided a quick inning by Sale as he struck out the side, giving him 7 strikeouts through 5 innings. Gilbert fought back in the 5th inning, giving up a leadoff double to Nacho Alvarez on a poorly thrown fastball that clocked in at triple-digit speed. He quickly regained control, striking out Profar after fooling him with a splitter, forcing a flyout from Olson after battling back from a 3-0 count, and getting Albies to ground out quietly, which was a rare defensive success that day. But once again, the Mariners' offense could not justify Gilbert's solid efforts. Despite a close call where Profar robbed Cal Raleigh of a potential double with a diving catch, the Mariners' top hitters went down in order in the 6th inning. Gilbert responded impressively by mowing down the Braves' middle order on just 7 pitches, turning in a strong outing after a shaky start. The Mariners finally got some run support for Gilbert in the 7th inning. Polanco singled with 1 out, and in a puzzling move, the Braves pulled Chris Sale after getting Garrett to fly out, seemingly concerned about facing Dominic Canzone. Canzone justified that fear by promptly singling off the lefty reliever Dylan Lee, moving Polanco to second. Julio Rivas then delivered again with a solid single up the middle to score Polanco, giving the Mariners hope. But that hope was quickly undermined by a baffling Mariners decision. Harry Ford, long anticipated to make his major league debut, was inserted with 2 outs in a tied game, replacing first baseman Luke Raley. Ford promptly struck out on just 3 pitches, an extremely tough way to break in. This substitution forced the Mariners into a defensive shuffle, pulling J.P. Crawford from the bench and moving Eugenio Suarez to first base for a rare 3rd time in his career. Suarez immediately committed an error the following inning. Fortunately, it did not cost the Mariners the game. This entire sequence was confusing and frustrating for fans, raising questions about the team's decision-making. Against the first right-handed pitcher the Mariners faced all day, former Rockies reliever Tyler Kinley, the Mariners lineup faltered badly. In fact, the top 4 hitters combined for only 1 hit back in the first inning, a hit by pitch, 0 walks, and a staggering 7 strikeouts. That's a rough stat line no one wants to see. Ultimately, the Mariners' offensive woes caught up to them in the 8th inning. Gabe Speier's outing unraveled in what may be his worst inning of the season, though it wasn't necessarily poor pitching. The inning started with Profar lacing a ground ball double on a well-placed slider that might have been a single if not for less than ideal defense in left field, highlighting the difference between the teams. Then came a bit of bad luck. That score was enough, given the Mariners' struggles. But the Braves capitalized further by adding 2 insurance runs. Albies crushed a first-pitch hit over Canzone's head for a triple, and Baldwin scorched a pitch past a diving Polanco to bring in the 4th run. The game slipped completely out of reach for the Mariners, who folded quietly in the 9th against familiar AL West nemesis Raisel Iglesias. It's immensely frustrating to witness a strong start from Gilbert go to waste. Chris Sale is undeniably a formidable opponent, but as the season wears on, the Mariners hitters must rise to the occasion on those rare nights their starter excels. Unfortunately, they failed to do so tonight, and for much of the season. For Mariners fans already feeling a sense of dread about the postseason, tonight's performance does little to assuage those fears. Despite moments of progress, games like this painfully remind us that many of the same offensive struggles from 2024 still linger, while playoff hopes feel more distant than ever. So what do you think? Are these problems fixable with time and adjustments, or is the Mariners' inconsistency a sign of deeper structural issues? Feel free to share your take in the comments. Could tonight's bullpen decisions and lineup struggles be the real hang-ups holding this team back? 0 comments.